Greetings and welcome to this week's True Sidereal Astrological Weather Report for the week of July 2nd to 6th. And yes, I realize that is not a full week. It's already Wednesday, folks. I have been quite busy with the course materials for the first round of 13 Nacha Mama's astrology course that we're a couple weeks into, interacting with participants. And also, it's summertime. I've been at the frickin' beach, okay? Less is more, folks. So, coincidentally, or curiously, we didn't really miss much because we have a pretty quiet week as far as aspects and transits go, and pretty much everything is in the later part of the week. So, it really worked out. Now, we are in the first quarter of the lunar cycle, starting today, actually, on Wednesday as I'm recording this. So, we're moving into like the action phase. And we may be feeling some resistance to the intentions that we set with the new moon in Gemini. That's right, we are in Gemini, folks. If you're brand new here, we're using the visible sky. So we're actually looking at the sky, where the luminaries and etheric bodies are, and as they move through the constellations. This is also known as alchemical astronomy. This is how astrology is meant to function. Tropical astrology, the Western lens that most people are familiar with, has nothing to do with the stars. It is a symbolic construct reinforced by self-fulfilling prophecy and confirmation bias. It only measures the lower cycles of the Earth. So if you're looking to evolve as a celestial being and harness the actual energies of the luminaries as they are in the visible sky, stay tuned. Okay, so let's do a quickie here as far as the rundown goes. We are in the thick of Gemini season. As we can see, the sun is right in the twins here, still pretty close to Jupiter. So we're having this expansion and illumination of a new paradigm. That's what that new moon was about last week, was all about opening yourself up to a new perspective, that mutable era of Gemini, the curiosity, the playfulness, that kind of fresh, new perspective energy, the flexible thinking that comes with Jupiter and the sun being in Gemini, right? So the expansion and illumination of that energy is still happening and very much influencing our day-to-day life, okay? Mercury, which is the ruler of Gemini, is in Cancer, so we have this energy of really thinking about ourselves, thinking about our needs, thinking about taking care of ourselves, putting ourselves first in the sense that like our needs are important. And it's really like Mercury is getting a bit of a blast because of all of this energy in Gemini as well. Okay. Now, looking back here a little bit in Taurus, we have Venus is going to be conjunct Uranus. They're getting pretty close. That's going to be happening on Friday. So we're going to have this energy of the values of Venus and the freedom and innovation of Uranus shaking up our physical world, which is what Taurus is, okay? So this can either bring an energy of freedom in relationships, shaking up personal relationships with people, places, things, yourself, also your finances, your body as well, right? So you may have a radical shift in how you feel about all of those sorts of things. Or the other way, conversely, is that Venus can bring this energy of valuing change, which is what Uranus is. It's the change maker, shaking things up, like fast changes, right? So, I mean, honestly, potential for like miraculous type of energies, things really showing up in the physical world that were not there before as a direct correlate of the expansion of your perspectives, okay? What you think, how you see the world, the paradigm that you're viewing the world is what creates your world, okay? So all of this energy in Gemini is giving us the ability to think differently, see differently, and create differently with all of this stuff going on in Taurus right now. As far as the rest of the line of the ecliptic here, really of note, we've just got Saturn and Neptune again, really like continued to be very close to each other in Pisces, okay? Pisces, that deep water, the spirituality, intangibility. And they're both slow movers, and they've been on top of each other for some time. They're pretty close to being exactly conjunct, as you can see here. But on Friday, Neptune is going to be going retrograde. So we're going to be having Neptune going backwards as Saturn continues to move forward. So they're going to be doing this dance around each other for some time. So this energy of bringing like a seriousness or a level of devotion to your spirituality is continuing. If you've been like in the clouds or like feeling like you're in outer higher space, or, really in the depths of a spiritual death and rebirth cycle, dark night of the soul kind of energy, you might feel a bit of a reprieve of that as Neptune goes retrograde. So let's have a look at the chart and the specific transits for the week. Alrighty, so as we can see here with the nifty little graph at the top of this screen, I really curated the perfect conditions to be doing this a couple of days late because we don't have much going on in the beginning part of the week here at all. So other than these prolonged energies of Saturn getting closer to Neptune before Neptune goes retrograde on the 4th, which is Friday, and then we have like a minor aspect of Neptune sextiling Pluto, which is in Capricorn. So this is kind of a double whammy of the same energy because Capricorn and Saturn are similar types of energy structures, limitations, the physical world very much being grounded in organization, taking things slow, doing things in a very grounded type of way. Pluto in Capricorn is dismantling the structures that a hyper focus on the material and the hustle and grind and the external locus of control. It's not to say that those structures are totally useless. We do need those. But Neptune and Saturn in Pisces is giving us this energy of curating more magical structures to support us in a more heart-centered existence. Neptune will be going retrograde on Friday, but they're both slow movers, so we're still going to have this energy, this dance between Saturn and Neptune in Pisces for some time, bringing this level of seriousness and devotion to your spirituality. Also on Friday, we will have this conjunction between Venus and Uranus, being exact, as I mentioned in the rundown. This is really curating the perfect conditions for miraculous conditions in your physical world, shakeups in your relationships, shakeups in your values, changes to the way that you value everything, the way that you relate to your finances, the way that you relate to other people, your environment. Also, conversely, changing the values that you have, right? A paradigm shift. And with this conjoining with the energy of everything happening in Gemini right now, it really is giving new earth, new paradigm. Finally, over the weekend, we will have some minor aspects as Venus sextiles both Saturn and Neptune, and then a trine to Pluto. So again, just these harmonious kind of energies, curating the shift of a new paradigm, the shift in your values, the shift in the way that you're operating in the world, and transitioning from a head hustle grind centered way of being into a heart relaxed, receptive way of being. As far as the moon transits this week, by the time I'm recording this on Wednesday, the moon is in Virgo, has been in Virgo for a day. And because Virgo is freaking massive, it's going to be here until Friday. So this is bringing an energy of perfection, organization, recalibration, engineering, and alchemizing, right? Those are all the energies of the archetype of Virgo. So this kind of calculating improvement energy is underlying all of this other energy happening in the true sky. And then over the weekend, the moon will shift into Libra, bringing like a harmony kind of energy to our thoughts and our communication. So I would say overall this week, as we move into the first quarter, the momentum phase of the lunar cycle, a pretty advantageous week to be taking action and moving forward with whatever is coming to you as far as the new paradigm. Like, how can you be more heart-centered? How can you value your receptivity? How can you value beauty and pleasure and fun and all of the things that bring you joy and bliss in your life? And if you're thinking, hey, wait a minute, Lumi, I don't have any things in my life that bring me joy and bliss. I am having a hard time. Well, I feel you, okay? We can't base how we feel, though, based on our circumstances. That is the trick of the inverted society. That is how we maintain and reinforce the clusterfuck that is the matrix, okay? So if you are in a situation where it is really difficult and challenging, how can you change your perspective on what is happening? How can you shift the way that you're viewing the paradigm that you're currently existing in? Release yourself from the victim mentality of being stuck or limited by your circumstances and see everything as a beautiful part of the creation and just a part of the plan and like a really interesting part of the story of how you are experiencing this human life. If you would like some assistance with this, I do have space open for one-on-one mentorship or my group coaching program, The Inner Circle, where you have access to everything that I'm teaching, including 13 Nakja Mama's Astrology, which is in week 2 right now, and me personally, as far as my insights go into how you can shift that paradigm. So check out the link either in my bio if you're watching this on TikTok or in the comments of this video. And if you are still listening to this, thank you so much for supporting me with your ears and eyes and hearts, and I will see you in the next one.